In the beginning, there was nothing but water, dark, formless void, without shape or structure. Then God said, "Let there be light." And the earth began. Genesis 1 verse 3. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse, and divided the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it was so. This is where our story begins, with Noah, a man who lived in a world covered by water. But not just any water, no. The earth was surrounded by a great deep, a cosmic ocean, filled with all kinds of sea creatures. And through this vast body of water, God would speak to humans, and sometimes choose to interact with them directly. It may sound fantastical, but this is how our world started. Noah was born into a world full of water and monsters. Yet he maintained a strong connection with God. He understood the difference between the divine and the mundane. However, his children lacked this understanding. They didn't grasp the immensity of the deep or the significance of the creatures that inhabited it. To them, it was just a big, dark, scary body of water. Noah tried his best to instill in them the teachings of God, but they wouldn't listen. His efforts seemed futile, and he despaired of ever getting through to them. Then one day, when the boys were out fishing, a huge storm arose, shaking the very foundations of the earth. Lightning split the sky and thunder boomed like the roar of a lion. In the face of this natural disaster, the boys finally realized their father's warnings had been true. But tragically, it was too late. As the storm raged, the water level began to rise, threatening to engulf the world. They cried out to their father, desperate for help, and Noah came to rescue them. With him, he took his wife and the wives of his sons into the boat. But as the rain poured down, the rising water levels trapped them inside. The windows were shut tight, blocking their view of the outside world. The once familiar sounds of wind and rain were now deafening, pounding against the walls of the boat like the relentless beating of a drum. And fear gripped their hearts. Fear of what lay beyond the boat, fear of the unknown. They prayed for the storm to pass, for the sun to shine again, for the world they once knew to return. But the storm continued to rage. Days turned into nights, and still the rain fell. Hope began to dwindle, replaced by despair. Was this the end? Would they be trapped in this prison of wood forever? Or would the dawn ever break again? As the days passed, food began to run low and despair threatened to consume them. Then an unexpected calm descended. The relentless rain ceased, and a profound quiet enveloped the world. A glimmer of hope rekindled within them. Could it be? Had the storm finally abated? Noah cautiously opened the window, extending his hand to touch the sky. The air was fresh, carrying with it the scent of wet earth and something else, something indescribable, yet wonderful. With trembling hands he looked up and saw the sun, majestic and radiant, pouring its golden light upon a world washed clean. The clouds had vanished, revealing a sky of the purest blue. The world was still. The trees stood tall, and the air was sweet with the fragrance of new life. Hope surged through him, vibrant and strong. After 40 days and 40 nights of relentless rain, the storm had finally come to an end. The Ark had found rest on the mountains of Ararat. With hearts filled with gratitude and awe, Noah and his family emerged from the Ark, blinking against the bright sunlight. The world around them was transformed. Lush green mountains rose majestically in the distance, their peaks touching the heavens. Verdant valleys stretched below, carpeted in vibrant hues of emerald and jade. Crystal-clear streams meandered through the landscape, reflecting the azure sky like shattered diamonds. Towering trees, their branches heavy with ripe fruit, formed a verdant canopy overhead, filtering the sunlight into dancing patterns on the forest floor. The air was alive with the melody of birdsong. each note a joyful celebration of life renewed. The gentle rustling of leaves whispered tales of resilience and rebirth. The sweet fragrance of blooming flowers perfumed the air, their petals unfurling in a myriad of colors to welcome the sun. It was a world reborn, a testament to the enduring power of nature and the unwavering spirit of humanity. As Noah stepped onto the solid ground, he felt a profound sense of relief wash over him. The rough bark of a nearby tree was cool and comforting beneath his calloused hands. The soft grass yielded gently to his steps, each blade whispering a silent greeting. He closed his eyes, inhaling deeply, and the scent of petrichor and fertile earth filled his lungs. It was a scent that spoke of life, growth, and the promise of new beginnings. Tears of joy streamed down his weathered face as he looked upon this breathtaking vista. The mountains in the distance stood as silent sentinels, their rugged peaks etched against the boundless canvas of the sky. Noah knew that these mountains held a special significance, a place where heaven seemed to touch the earth. As Noah and his family emerged from the ark, they were greeted by a sight that left them speechless. Stretching as far as the eye could see, a vast and verdant landscape unfolded before them, a panorama of breathtaking beauty. Rolling hills carpeted in lush vegetation rolled gently towards the horizon. Crystal-clear rivers meandered through the valleys, their waters sparkling like liquid silver in the warm sunlight. Majestic forests stood tall and proud, their dense canopies providing sanctuary to countless birds and animals. Among them, Noah recognized some of the very creatures he had seen during the Great Flood, creatures he thought he would never behold again. Graceful deer with coats the color of burnished copper grazed peacefully in open meadows. Agile monkeys chattered and swung through the trees, their lithe forms blending seamlessly with the foliage. Noah's heart swelled with a profound sense of wonder and gratitude as he realized that life in all its magnificence had been given a second chance. With the world reborn, Noah, his sons, and their families stepped off the ark, ready to begin their lives anew. But as they took their first steps on the freshly cleansed earth, a profound realization dawned upon them. They were not merely survivors. They were now the stewards of a new world. The responsibility weighed heavily on their shoulders, a solemn vow to honor the lessons learned and to protect the delicate balance of life. Noah raised his head towards the heavens, his gaze unwavering, his voice resonating with newfound purpose. "We will honor you by tending to this world, by nurturing its bounty and cherishing its beauty," he proclaimed, his words echoing the sentiments of his kin. "We will be its caretakers, ensuring that such devastation never again overwhelms the earth." Their voices, strong and resolute, mingled with the rustling leaves and the murmur of the streams, forming a harmonious chorus that reverberated through the rejuvenated landscape. As the sun bathed the earth in its golden light, Noah and his descendants stood united, their faces turned towards the horizon, ready to embrace the challenges and the triumphs that lay ahead in this, their shared destiny. Dear friends, we have heard about the steadfastness of our brother Noah, a man who, with few people on his side, condemned the world and became an heir of righteousness when a judgment of fire destroyed the old world, a judgment that served as an example of what will happen to the ungodly. Yet Noah, being warned in advance about it, constructed an ark for the salvation of his household. By this, he condemned the world and became an heir of righteousness. But he did so by finding favor in the eyes of the Lord. So that's the story of Noah. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.